بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يقول اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى رواه مسلم. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu reported that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he used to supplicate, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-huda wat-tuqa wal-afafa wal-ghina. O Allah, I ask you for guidance, piety or taqwa, chastity and self-sufficiency. عن أبي طريف عدي بن حاتم الطائي رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من حلف على يمين ثم رأى أتقى لله منها فليأت التقوى رواه مسلم. Adi ibn Hatim al-Ta'i radiallahu anhu said, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam saying, he who has taken an oath to do something but found something else better than that, which brings him closer to Allah, meaning he finds something which is more of a taqwa, then he should do that which is better in piety. And then he should expiate for the breaking of that oath. So this is hadith, or these two are hadith number 71 and 72 in the chapter of taqwa, in the chapter of piety, in Imam an-Nawawi's book of Riyadh us-Saliheen. In the first hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is making a dua to Allah. And that dua is a famous dua which I think we should all learn and we should teach our children as well. And that is, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-huda. Oh Allah, I ask you for huda. What is the meaning of huda? Huda literally over here is being translated as hidayah, guidance. But it can also mean, oh Allah, I am asking you for knowledge. Because without knowledge, there's no guidance. Allah, He says in the Quran, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Know, i.e. seek knowledge, that there's no one worthy of worship except Allah. And so depending on the context of the word huda and how it is used, huda can be used for hidayah alone. Or it can be used for hidayah and knowledge. Or it could be used for just knowledge, depending on the context. So here, the Prophet ﷺ, he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for knowledge, for guidance, for knowledge. And we know that the Prophet ﷺ, he used to say to the people, O people, I do not know what is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amongst His treasures. Only Allah, He knows what is. قُلْ إِنِّي لَا أَمْلِكُ لَكُمْ ضَرًّا وَلَا نَفْعًا قُلْ إِنِّي لَنْ يُجِيرَنِي مِنَ اللَّهِ أَحَدٌ وَلَنْ أَجِدَ مِنْ دُونِهِ مُلْتَحَدًا. Where He is telling the people, I don't own anything that will harm you or benefit you. It is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who can harm you and benefit you, and who can guide you and who can reward you. In it, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he is saying that I am also in need of the guidance from Allah. Allah, He says in the Quran, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى. Did Allah not find you as an orphan and He gave you refuge? وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. And He found you being ضال, being astray, and He guided you. Who is Allah saying this to? And this is one of the best surahs. This is a surah which was sent down to comfort the Prophet ﷺ, because there was a long period of time in which the Prophet ﷺ was not getting any wahi. So the mushrikeen, they started making fun of the Prophet. Oh, your Lord has abandoned you. And imagine, the Prophet ﷺ, he couldn't speak, he couldn't say anything of relating to Islam because he was not getting any wahi. And imagine how heavy that weighed on him. And then finally, after 1 month, when revelation was revealed, this is what Allah, He says, وَالضُّحَى, I swear by the forenoon, وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى, and when the night comes and it covers, i.e. it covers the light. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. Your Lord has not abandoned you. مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. And verily the hereafter is better for you than the present, meaning this dunya. أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى. Did He not find you an orphan and He gave you refuge? وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى. Did He not find you astray and He guided you? Did He not find you poor and He made you self-sufficient? Rich? فَأَغْنَى فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. As for the orphan, do not shun him. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. And as for the beggar, do not deprive him. And so, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's saying what? The reason I'm mentioning this is because there are certain people who ascribe godliness to the prophets. In fact, Allah, He has mentioned this in the Quran with regards to Prophet Isa alayhi salam. أَأَنْتَ قُلْتَ لِلنَّاسِ اتَّخِذُونِي وَأُمِّيَ إِلَهَيْنِ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Did you, Allah, imagine on a day of judgment, when every single prophet is going to say, Nafsi, Nafsi, myself, myself. Allah, with His wrath on that day is not going to be like any other day, before it or after it. He said, Ya Isa, أَأَنْتَ قُلْتَ لِلنَّاسِ اتَّخِذُونِي وَأُمِّيَ إِلَهَيْنِ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Did you tell people to worship you and your mother besides Allah? قَالَ سُبْحَانَكَ. He said he will go ahead and absolve Himself. And He knows. He will say, Oh Allah, you know what I used to tell the people. So He is basically, what is He saying? He's saying, Oh Allah, I do not know what they did after me. And same thing when the Prophet ﷺ, he mentions with regards to receiving people from amongst his ummah, where he would give them the drink from the hawd. The hawd is a pool that comes from the Kawthar, which is a special river only for the Prophet ﷺ. And there are certain angels that will push there will be angels that will push some people away. And the Prophet ﷺ said, no, let them through. These are from my ummah. And what did the angel say? You do not know what they did after you, from the inventions of the religion. Which means what? Knowledge, complete knowledge, is a characteristic and an attribute of Allah. And over here in this dua, He's saying what? Oh Allah, I ask you for knowledge. I have no knowledge except, oh Allah, what you have given me of the unseen and of the seen. Which means, although, and we have been for the past, 5 khutbahs, or for the past 3 khutbahs rather, for the past 3 khutbahs, all we have been talking about is what? The honor, the status of the Prophet ﷺ. I mean, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Such a high status, the beloved of Allah. And tomorrow we will be talking about how he was adored by the rest of the universe. Are we from amongst those people? Despite his lofty status, he is still the servant of Allah. And that was his pride. He boasted about that. I am the servant of Allah. Yes, I am the messenger. I am the servant. The highest status any human can have is being the servant of Allah. And so he's asking Allah, oh Allah, give me knowledge, give me huda. And then he says, وَالتُّقَى, give me taqwa. Give me piety, give me that which I can protect myself from your wrath. And we already mentioned what is the definition of taqwa. وَالْعَفَافَ, and give me chastity. Chastity meaning from any illegal, any haram, anything that Allah has prohibited, any fahisha, give me chastity from that. وَالْغِنَى, and give me self-sufficiency. Oh Allah, give me self-sufficiency. Meaning, oh Allah, never shackle me to be under someone else. Because debt and asking people, or rather asking people and then being in debt, shackles a person, and now you're under that individual's influence. And so the Prophet ﷺ, he asked for this, and what an amazing dua that we should also ask, and we try to do this in every single Friday khutbah. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-huda wa-tuqa wal-afafa wal-ghina. May Allah give us knowledge, guidance, piety, taqwa, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from amongst those who are chaste, and may Allah give us self-sufficiency. And the second hadith is the hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ, he says, he who has taken an oath to do something but found something else better than that which he took an oath upon, meaning that thing has more taqwa. So for example, if a person says, Wallahi, I will never talk to you. Maybe the person, he cursed at you, maybe he did an injustice. Then later on you found yourself in a position maybe of a mediator, a conciliator, someone. Now, don't you think being a conciliator, someone who can bring islah, conciliation between two people, isn't that more taqwa? So if you found yourself to be in that position in which you will have more taqwa, and that more taqwa means you have to break your oath, then go ahead. It is better for you to break your oath than it is better for you to break your oath in order for you to choose the option of more taqwa. And what is the ruling for a person who breaks his oath? The scholars, they mention this based upon the verse لا يؤاخذكم الله باللغو في أيمانكم ولكن يؤاخذكم بما عقدتم الأيمان فكفارته إطعام 10 مساكين من أوسط ما تطعمون أهليكم أو كسوتهم أو تحرير رقبة. That Allah, He will not hold you accountable for those oath that you take in vain. Meaning, for example, what's your name? Wallahi, my name is Ali. What did you eat? Wallahi, I ate biryani yesterday. And you see some people, they have this habit of always saying Wallahi. No, Wallahi, you must come to my house. Wallahi, no. This is lagh. This is in vain. It's not good, but it does not have a ramification. What has a ramification? Wallahi, I will go on Sunday to the hiking. Yeah, maybe his wife is saying, no, you cannot go. This is our day together, family time. He said, no, I'm tired, I'm this and that. Wallahi, I will go. And then she probably gives him some nice food, and now he even doesn't wake up for Fajr. So what happens? He broke his oath, whether intentionally or unintentionally. He has to pay kafara, an expiation. What's the kafara? He has to feed 10 people. What kind of food? The food that poor people eat? No, the food that you eat on a regular basis. Yeah? Not high end, not low end, medium. If you are unable to feed 10 people, then you do what? Huh? Huh? You no. You give clothes to 10 people. If not, then you fast for 3 days. And if you're not, then you can free a slave. Now, the scholar, like the Hanafi school of law, they said, is it sufficient that you must feed 10 people, or can you feed one person 10 times? And this is the differences amongst the scholars. Some say it's permissible, others said no. But the point is, you fed. Can you give money instead? Again, this is the differences amongst the scholars. Some said you can pay, or others said you cook food and you give to 10 poor people. Or you fast for 3 days. You fast for 3 days in order for you to expiate your sin. Now, when you swear, imagine you say, someone says to you, I saw you in Costco yesterday. And you say, no, it wasn't me. He said, no, wallahi, it was you. And he says, no, wallahi, it wasn't me. Now, one of them is telling the truth and another is not telling. It's not possible that he was there and he also wasn't there. Okay? So one of them has broken his oath. One says, wallahi, I saw you in Costco. He said, no, I wasn't there. He said, wallahi, I saw you. The other person says, wallahi, I wasn't there. So who do you think? What happens in this case? In this case, nothing happens. There's no expiation. The oath is the expiation for an oath is only for what you promise to do in the future. Like what I said, wallahi, I will go hiking this Sunday. Okay? But not for what happened in the past. Because maybe you had forgotten, maybe you misread or misunderstood, whatever it is. It's not for what happened in the past, but it is what you are going to do if you take an oath. Now, what if a person says, wallahi, I will go hiking. He tells his wife, wallahi, I will go hiking, inshallah. And then he doesn't wake up for Fajr and he doesn't go. What should he do? Does he pay expiation? Why not? Because he said, inshallah. Yeah, don't use this too much, because now you might be using this as a way to get out of the situation. You tell your wife, wallahi, I will go hiking. Inshallah. Yeah, you cannot do this. But the scholars did say that you should say inshallah, not as a way of trickery, but as a way for you to always be in the habit of saying inshallah, so that way you rely upon the qadr of Allah. Does that make sense? A lot of people, they will use it in a very trick manner. They will tell their spouse, wallahi, this. And then he said, inshallah. It's permissible. I mean, it is, you don't have to fast. But why are you going to use the name of Allah in vain like this? Why would you do that? طيب? So, the Prophet ﷺ says, whoever, and also another thing, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, anyone who swears by other than Allah, he has committed shirk. And you'll see some people saying, was-sama, I swear by the heavens. Or they will say, I swear on my mother's grave. I swear on my children. This person has committed shirk if you do that. Why? Because the reason we swear upon Allah is because we give ta'zeem, we glorify Allah to that extent that we are adjuring Allah. We are taking an oath. If you do that with something else or someone else, you are putting that person in the same position as Allah. However, in the Quran, we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken an oath on His creation. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ وَالتِّينِ وَالزَّيْتُونِ وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالشَّمْسِ all of this, Allah has taken an oath. Why? Because He can do so. لا يسأل عما يفعل وهم يسألون. Allah can never be asked why He did something, but we are going to be asked why we did it or why we said it. He can do it, but no one. Okay? Does that make sense? We cannot take an oath except in the name of Allah. We could say, Wallahi, Billahi, Tallahi. We could say something similar. I swear by the one who created me. This is also Allah. I swear by the Lord of the Kaaba. You could also say this. برب الكعبة. Okay? والذي نفسي بيدي. I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul. This is permissible. What about taking an oath on the Quran? You know, nowadays they have the Quran and you put your hand. This is, what do you think? No? Yes? Yeah. Putting your hand on the Quran, this is a modern thing which has no precedence in it before, but it is permissible for a person to take an oath on the Quran. Why? Because this is the uncreated speech of Allah. This is the uncreated speech of Allah. Meaning this is the speech of Allah. So, according to the majority of the scholars, it is permissible for a person to take an oath on the Quran, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us guidance, may Allah give us hidayah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us knowledge, give us taqwa, give us chastity. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us self-sufficiency. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-huda wal-tuqa wal-afafa wal-ghina. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.